Greetings, book readers of Iran. My name is William Powers, and I'm here to celebrate a very wonderful event in my life, which is the publication of a new translation of my book, Hamlet's BlackBerry, which came out in English in the United States 10 years ago this year into your language, into Farsi, and its publication in Iran. I'm delighted that this book has been brought to life in your country by Ali Taghdarreh, who has become a friend of mine over recent years. He's an amazing scholar of English literature, an amazing student of our language, and now master of our language after many years of studying English and teaching it. And he's done already amazing translation work in previous publications of his, including perhaps most notably his translation of the great American classic philosophical book, Walden by Henry David Thoreau. And now Ali's latest book is a translation of my book, Hamlet's BlackBerry. This is the paperback U.S. edition. I'm very excited to see the Farsi, the Iran edition when it reaches me. I think it will happen soon, and when it reaches bookstores in your country. And I hope you will be interested in reading it. It's a book that's very much about our time, the world we're living in which digital technologies and the internet play such a powerful role in everything what we do. They're connecting us in ways that are, in many ways, very positive and constructive. Connecting us, for example, through videos like this one, which I'm able to share with you across the many thousands of miles and continents and oceans so that we can get to know each other a little bit. But digital media also have some downsides that we've been discovering in recent years. And those downsides are hard to sort of make sense of and solve as a problem, because there are so many benefits, and the internet and digital media are so crucial to modern existence. It's hard to develop ways or practices to ensure that they're not taking over your life, and that you have time apart, space apart from your screens, as I call them in the book, from your digital devices and all the demands they make on us. So that's what Hamlet's BlackBerry, my book, is about. And it's an unusual approach to a modern problem, because what I do in the book is I go back to previous eras in history and I look for solutions to somewhat similar problems, believe it or not, that people in earlier times, going all the way back to ancient times, ancient Greece, have faced because of technological innovations. For example, in ancient Greece, when Plato was living and was learning from Socrates and then recording Socrates' famous conversations, people were struggling with an invention called the alphabet, which was a kind of technology. And there is actually a dialogue in this book of Plato's, a dialogue of Socrates, in which he talks about the problem of the alphabet and wonders if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Believe it or not, he concludes it's a bad thing. I think Socrates was wrong there, but he has other ideas about how to navigate life in a way that brings us fulfillment and wisdom and happiness. And I explore those as well in the chapter about Socrates. There are 7 chapters, each of them built around one philosopher from the past who had something to teach us in this amazing digital era that we're living through. Another of the philosophers is Henry David Thoreau, the author of Walden, which I mentioned earlier, which Ali translated so beautifully for the Farsi public, and I hope you all have a chance to read that if you haven't already. And I have a whole chapter that draws on Thoreau and his thinking and his experiment that he conducted in his cabin at Walden Pond here in Massachusetts in the United States, where I lived, where he set out to see what you could learn by separating yourself for a while from the busy, crowded world and all the things going on in it, including technologies in his time that had become a burden in addition to all the benefits they brought. And he has amazing insights to offer in that book that I talk about in the chapter about the 19th century and the challenge of technology. And incidentally, Thoreau draws heavily in his work on Persian literature and the amazing philosophical past of your country. So that's another connection that we have, in addition to modern day books, of course. We have connections going way, way back. So this translation of Ali's is a new connection, I hope, between my culture and yours. And I'm thrilled to be here welcoming you to the book and hoping that you will read it. I'm delighted that it has been brought out by Farhange Nashre No Publishing House in your country, and I thank them for bringing the book out. It's a great honor to have my book take its place in your bookstores and hopefully on the bookshelves of many, many Iranians. So with that, I thank you for listening, and I hope to meet you in my book. I hope you'll meet me in my ideas, and that perhaps I'll hear from you about what you think. Take care now. Thanks.